And as you can see, we are here for the zombie walk, which begins in about a half an hour, 35 minutes. I'm actually waiting the arrival of my camera person, so I'm shooting this all by myself. But basically, this is an outgrowth of the very successful zombie walk in Asbury Park, New Jersey. I think that's around Halloween. It's much bigger actually than this one, but the New Jersey zombies basically have decided to invade New York City today because there is a zombie movie that is premiering here in a little bit. So we're going to be here and kind of watch them as they walk along the streets of Manhattan, and perhaps more interesting than watching them is to catch the reaction of people as they walk down the street. So welcome to our live coverage of the Spring Zombie Walk in New York City on the Paltalk News Network. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. Can I talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. I'm the organizer.
You're one of the organizers?
Yeah.
Perfect. My name is Gary. I'm with the Paltalk News Network, and we're live on the internet now. What's your name?
Jason Meehan.
Jason, are you from Jersey?
Yep.
So this is actually kind of like an outgrowth of what you do in Asbury Park every year.
That's correct. Yeah, it's an offshoot from our normal zombie walk that we have every year in Asbury Park, New Jersey. We were asked by George Romero to help him promote his new film that's coming out today, Survival of the Dead, by organizing a zombie walk in New York to end at the premiere of his film.
Cool. So anybody, any age can join in on the walk, but you have to be 18 to get into the film.
That's correct. Yeah, it's an R-rated film, so you have to be 18 or over to be able to get into the movie or be with a parent or guardian.
Yeah. Now, you're pretty well made up. You look like yours was a professional job.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, a couple of my friends that helped me organize the zombie walk are professional makeup artists. This one's a little bit smaller than what we usually do in New Jersey. We have a team of professional artists at the zombie walk in Asbury Park, and we usually have about 30 artists doing makeovers for everybody that wants to get a professional makeup job so that they look like they're right off the set of one of Romero's films.
So there are usually hundreds of people in Asbury Park. Are you expecting that large a turnout here?
Yeah, we're hoping for 400 or 500 zombies today. I know we already have about 200 that have checked in for their tickets. And in Asbury Park, the last walk that we had was last October, on October 3rd, and we had about 1,600 zombies for that walk. So
yeah, I was actually there taking some still pictures. I thought it was very, very cool. Yeah. So where are you going to walk, and are you looking for reaction from people here in New York City?
Definitely going to look for some reaction from some people, looking to scare some people. That's the whole point of having a zombie walk. What fun is it if you don't get to scare some people that don't know why we're doing this? But we're gonna walk downtown. We might pop into a couple of the squares. Union Square might have a lot of people out. It's a nice day, so there might be some zombies infesting Union Square and Washington Square Park as we make our way over to the movie theater.
Cool. Well, we'll be with you at least for part of the walk.
Great. We're glad to have you.
Okay. Great. Thanks for the interview. So I guess that guys kind of pretty much sets the scene for what we're doing here. There are several hundred people already here. He says who are going to be yes. Oh yeah, just slip it in one of my pockets, and I'll send you some information about us too. Cool. There's several hundred people who have already signed up for the zombie walk, and they're expecting several hundred more before the thing actually gets underway. So as you can see, it's just a gorgeous day here in New York City, and I'm just delighted. It's going to be very interesting to see the reactions of people as we walk along the street, because of course in New York City anything goes, but this is a little over the top even for New York, I think.
So Gary, if I may ask, where does this zombie walk originate from?
Some people, including the gentleman we just talked to, Jason, started this a couple years ago in Asbury Park. They thought it would be kind of a cool thing to do, and Asbury Park is kind of like an avant-garde kind of city. It's going through a gentrification, and so there's a lot of room for artistic expression there. As you know, Asbury Park is where the Stone Pony, a very famous nightclub, is located, where a lot of bands get their start, where Bruce Springsteen calls his musical home, and where he might stop in unannounced. Hello, Susanna. Susanna's here to take over the camera work.
Hello.
Good. That relieves me a little bit here. We already had one interview, Susanna. So, but anyway, Asbury Park is where Bruce Springsteen calls his home, his musical home, and so there's a lot of artistic expression going on there during the gentrification of the town. And the convention center has been totally abandoned, turned over to pigeons. It used to be like the place to go. People from New York City used to take the train down to Asbury Park, and that was the destination during the summer. And so they basically take over the convention center in early October to do this zombie walk. I think they've done it a couple of years now, and it's all great fun. And they have 1,100, 1,200, 1,300 people who show up for that. And so they just thought for George Romero's Walk of the Dead film, which is opening here today in a couple of hours, that they would invade New York City. So they came across. Now, one thing that would have been very cool is to see people coming across on the train dressed as zombies. How did you get? Are you here from New Jersey?
Yes, I am.
How did you get over here?
I drove, but my wife has to leave before the rest of us, so I will be walking up to Port Authority and then riding the bus home.
Like this?
Yes, Jesus rides the bus.
Jesus rides the bus. Half the fun is participating, but the other half of the fun is watching people who aren't participating reacting to you.
Oh, absolutely. When we were driving on the turnpike to get here, I definitely caught a couple of glances from people as they passed me like, what? So I'm sure I'll get a lot more of that on the way home, though.
I bet. Okay.
And I've only had one philosophical discussion so far. I was sure I'd have a lot more people, I don't want to say offended, but just not appreciate it.
Challenging.
Yes, and I've only had one such conversation. Everyone else has been, very, very understanding and laughing about it, so it's been a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, we'll see you on the walk, and we'll check out the reactions of the people.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there you go, an exclusive. You got to turn that, flip this whenever that happens. Just flip it back on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we just had an exclusive interview on the Paltalk News Network with Jesus Christ, and so this is a first for us, Boaz. And you said Jesus didn't exist.
So you met Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, hey, listen.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to ask him is why he's going to the Port Authority to take a bus back over to Jersey. I would rather see him walk on the Hudson River.
Well, we've had enough of Hudson River with an airplane landing on it.
Yes.
We've had enough of that.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, this guy is pretty scary. And it's interesting. He's wearing a T-shirt that says "Normal people scare me." I don't know if you're aware, sir, but you're losing your eyeball, your left eyeball.
I'm in search actually of a good ophthalmologist.
You are. Well, you're in New York City. They say some of the best